Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to talk about how to get started on losing weight. My name is Charity, and last March I started a weight loss journey or health change or health kick or lifestyle change, however you want to call it. The point was I wanted to take control of my life and lose weight and become healthier. Last March I weighed in at about 275 pounds, and now today I'm weighing in at less than 200. I'm floating around 190 right now and still losing. So over the course of my weight loss, I've had quite a few people ask me, how did I do it? Some people do want a magic answer. They want to hear something like, if you drink a spinach smoothie by the light of the blood moon at midnight on the last day of the month, then you will magically lose 10 pounds. The answer is a lot more boring than that. It's just simple diet and exercise. In order to lose weight, I've said it before in my previous videos, you need to have a calorie deficit consistently for over a period of time. Calories are energy. If you consume too much energy, your body stores it as fat. If you don't consume enough energy and you have excess fat, then your body will use that fat as its energy and you will lose weight. There are a multitude of ways to lose weight. There are so many diet plans and programs out there that you can use. Each one is going to fit everyone differently. No one is going to like everything, but everyone would like something. For example, I did try the Whole30 at one point, and I liked it. It was nice, but it was too restrictive for me. At one point, I did try keto. I was only eating meat and vegetables and then lowering number of carbohydrates you eat every day. It was nice, and I enjoyed eating lots and lots of meat, but it wasn't sustainable, and that's the key. You need to find something that's sustainable for you. For me, keto wasn't sustainable because I love bread, I love different kinds of carbs, and I know that my brain doesn't like it when I say, oh, you can't eat this kind of food. That's when my brain says, oh, now I really want this kind of food. Everything is going to be different for everybody. You have to find something that works for you. The key to losing weight is finding something that's sustainable, something that you can do over a long period of time. Fad diets, crash diets, they're not going to work. They just won't, because they're not something you can stick with. And after those crash diets or fad diets are over, you'll go right back to your old eating habits. All the weight loss that you have achieved may be reversed. You may gain weight, or you may gain even more weight. That's where a lot of the statistics about diet failure comes from, is because people use fad diets or crash diets and they do it and they lose a bunch of weight, but then after they reach their goal or achieve whatever they wanted to accomplish, they go back to their normal eating habits, the same eating habits that caused them to gain weight in the first place. So in order to lose weight successfully and keep it off, you really have to change how you eat and how much you eat over a long period of time. Just doing it for a month or two is not going to cut it. You have to create a successful lifestyle change. So I'm going to be talking about calorie counting because that's the way that helped me. I love all different kinds of food, and I don't like being restricted. Calorie counting was a way for me to have any food that I wanted in moderation. As long as I stayed within my calorie budget, I lost weight. So how do you get started with calorie counting? For me, I needed to know how many calories my body burned a day, and I wanted to eat below that because I had lots of excess fat. I knew that my body wasn't going to go crazy if I ate less than what it needed because it had stored energy. And so going into a calorie deficit was what was going to help me lose weight. In order to figure out how many calories my body burned, I went to tdeecalculator.net. It lets you put in your gender, your height, and your weight, and your age. And it tells you, in general, how many calories would this body burn a day. For example, when I was 275 pounds, my TDEE was about 2,300, I think. Let's just use that as an example because I'm lazy right now. My TDEE was 2,300. So that means if I ate more than 2,300 calories, I would gain weight, more weight than I needed. If I ate below it, my body would use the excess fat that it has stored as energy and I would lose weight. So after I found that number, I decided how big of a deficit I wanted. And you can control this. A smaller deficit will be easier to maintain over time, but it will cause slower weight loss. A larger deficit will cause faster weight loss, but it may not be sustainable over time, or it may be too much of an abrupt change. For me, I was ready to get started. I had been dieting on and off for years and years, and I was tired of being overweight. I was tired of being morbidly obese. So I was ready to get my health in order. So I wanted a big deficit. So I started eating 1,200 calories a day, which would give me a deficit of over 1,000 calories. I wouldn't recommend a deficit of 1,000 calories if you don't have a lot of excess weight to lose. I could do that because I was morbidly obese, and eating 1,200 calories a day was not going to kill me. Once I decided how much I was going to eat, it became a simple matter of checking how many calories were in my foods that I was eating. I used a program. There's lots of calorie counting apps out there. MyFitnessPal, Lose It, Chronometer, lots of different apps, and you can use those apps. Each one is different. Everybody's going to like something different, but you can choose which one works for you. When you start calorie counting, the amount of calories in food is going to shock you. I'm a volume eater. I love eating a lot. And so realizing that some of my favorite foods, eating one serving or one meal, portion control was not in my vocabulary. Eating one meal was over the amount of calories I needed in a day. That was shocking. And you might take some time to get adjusted to it. When I first started calorie counting, the only thing I did was just start tracking how many calories were in my food. I didn't pay attention to a deficit yet. I just wanted to get used to the idea of how many calories I was eating and trying to figure out what I could do with those numbers. And after a while, after I got used to it, then I started creating a deficit and losing weight. So in order to use the calorie counting method, go to tdeecalculator.net, put in your data. It will tell you how many calories your body burns a day. Choose the amount of deficit you want. You can start with 500. If you have a lot of weight to lose, you can go to 1,000. You can change the deficit number also. You don't have to stick with the 500 calorie deficit. You don't have to stick with the 1,000 calorie deficit. If you figure out that it just doesn't feel right, it's too much of a drop for you, you can build it up gradually, or you got a lot of wiggle room. Just play around with the numbers, find something that works for you. And then once you start having a consistent deficit over time, you will notice the weight start to drop off. 1 pound is equal to 3,500 calories. So you have to have a deficit of 3,500 calories before you lose a pound. That's how you can get started with weight loss. Other weight loss programs such as Weight Watcher, keto, paleo, all these other kinds of diets and lifestyle changes, they create a deficit, but you don't really think about the calories. It takes the thinking of calories away from you. For me, I needed those numbers because I wanted to know exactly how much I needed and not go over that. There was no guesswork. Before, when I lost weight on keto or when I lost weight on doing a paleo diet or the Whole30, I didn't know why. I thought it was just those programs, but I knew that I couldn't keep up with that. Once I found out it was the calories, the amount of calories I was eating that was causing me to lose weight, light bulbs went off, and I was able to create my own plan where I could eat the foods I loved still and lose weight at the same time. And I can play around with the deficit. Sometimes I would have a deficit of 1,000. Sometimes I would have a deficit of 500. Sometimes I would have a very small deficit that didn't even register on the deficit scale, but the fact was it was a deficit and it still resulted in weight loss. So that's how you can get started on the weight loss journey or lifestyle change. Hopefully it becomes a lifestyle change for you. It's just becoming aware of how many calories are in food, knowing how many calories your body needs, and eating below that number if you have excess fat to lose. Also keep in mind, as your body gets smaller, your TDEE will also get smaller. TDEE stands for Total Daily Energy Expenditure. It's the amount of calories you burn in a day. As you get smaller, your TDEE will also get smaller. So make sure you adjust the number of calories you eat accordingly. Exercise can help increase the amount of calories you can eat, because as you burn more, you can eat a little bit more. But be careful not to overeat those exercise calories back. Some programs may overestimate the amount of calories you burn, so you don't want to play around too much with eating back those exercise calories. Be conservative when estimating how many calories you burn during exercise. It's really not as much as you think. So, in conclusion, if you want to get started on losing weight, I recommend calorie counting, seeing how many calories your body needs, getting below that into a deficit, a sustainable deficit that you can create over an extended period of time, adjusting your calories as your body gets smaller, and being aware of what you're eating. Exercise helps, not always necessary. The first couple of months I was losing weight, I didn't exercise as much. Now I exercise a lot more, but because I enjoy it more because I'm smaller and healthier, and I can do a lot more now. Thank you for watching. I hope this helps, and see you in the next video. Bye.